Looks like Universal's shared monster cinematic universe will be leading off with a new The Mummy movie starring Tom Cruise and Sofia Boutella, and is set to be released on June 9th, 2017, which was shifted from its original March 24th premiere. Early reports are suggesting that Cruise will be playing an ex-Navy SEAL, while Boutella will be playing the Mummy. Clark, what do you think about the new Mummy movie, and now that Tom Cruise is officially on board?
I think it's kind of cool. I like this idea. Look, there's so much speculation around this shared monster universe. I will say that of most or all of the original classic Universal monsters, the Mummy, I think, benefits the most from a remake. It doesn't quite hold up the way that I would argue a lot of the other Universal monster movies do. But I will say I have a really fond spot for Stephen Sommers' 1999 Mummy.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I
yeah.
thought it was campy, but like campy on purpose, and had fun with it.
Absolutely. And the other cool thing about that version of The Mummy is that it actually pays great homage to the original film. In a lot of ways, it takes the original Mummy movie and switches the A and B story. So basically, instead of focusing on the love story of Anck-su-namun and Imhotep, they kind of put that on the side, and in the new film, it's more of the action adventure. Right. So I love the way that they did that in the original, and now with the idea of bringing it into modern day, that's the only thing that gives me pause about these new Universal monster movies, is that they have said, and who knows, it could change, that these movies are going to be set in present day. And the Mummy is the idea of a mummy and the idea of ancient Egyptian magic is just so far removed to me from like our technology heavy world that I'm just am wondering, how are they going to do this and make it interesting? Now, with that being said, I actually really like Tom Cruise signing on. I think that's a great sign, because I think over the last couple of years, Tom Cruise has been taking some really interesting action projects. Whether or not they work, up for discussion. But, I thought Edge of Tomorrow was great. Yeah. And it was this inventive, cool, new spin on it. I thought Mission Impossible 5 was actually my favorite action movie of the summer. Yeah. I just loved it to pieces. So the fact that he's interested in this franchise, he doesn't need to take a paycheck. He doesn't need to just sign up willy-nilly for a random franchise. So I think that actually says that maybe the project has something cool going on with it. And as for our mummy, our villainess, she is so great. She was so great in Kingsman. And the idea of a lady mummy is cool. It's nothing too shocking, I think, considering Anck-su-namun, especially in the Stephen Sommers movies, did a lot, considering.
Sure.
So I like this kind of all around. I'm definitely intrigued and I'm curious, but I think it's a good start.
Yeah, I think I like that you mentioned the Brendan. I think it was Brendan Fraser. Yeah. That mummy. It was like Raiders of the Lost Mummy.
Rachel,
it was definitely like
Rachel Weisz.
Yeah,
that's the first time I ever saw her in a movie.
Too.
It was a fun series. I mean, I think they screwed it with the second one with the baby mummies. You know what I mean? It's like.
What about Scorpion King, the spin-off with The Rock?
Yeah. So I mean, all those, but that first Mummy remake was fun, and it was good to throw that action genre. So here we've got this brand new, Universal's been trying to figure out how do they take these famous monsters from the 40s and 50s and bring them into now, and they've done it. They've done multiple tries and fails, as far as I'm concerned. Dracula Untold was horrible. I think the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro was horrible when he's fighting his dad at the end. I'm a Wolfman too. And it's like, come on, man. So I mean, what they were trying to do is they were trying to retain the time period of these classics and use that as a way to retell the story, and it's just not working. I think by bringing it into the present day, all of the classic monsters, they're going to have to put a different spin on it. It's not going to work the way these 40s and 50s movies did. You're just not going to attract the crowd. We've already seen all those films. We want to see something new. So I think adding Tom Cruise definitely is a really cool thing. He's a great star. He's a great action star. I don't know what kind of tone they're going to have with it. Casting Boutella as the Mummy. Is it a love story? Is it going to be? We don't know what they're going to do with this. We don't know if Tom Cruise is going to be like this Navy SEAL who's in all of the movies. Is he going to fight Dracula next? I mean, is he going to be in all of the films? That would be kind of cool. Or is he just only in this film? I like the idea though of updating it, bringing it forward. I don't need a mummy matrix. I don't need like something to be involved with the computers or anything. You could keep it straight up supernatural, but make it scary. Give it some update it in a way where it feels now, as opposed to, I don't want to see a 1950s mummy. Why? I've already seen it. And I've already seen the action mummy that, like you mentioned, from the 90s. So they have to update this franchise. They have to do it in a smart way and put everything together. So if they're going to make the new Universal monsters, that make them relevant. So
for me, this news kind of hit me out of nowhere because I think I probably was on vacation when the rumors were swirling around. What was it, a couple months ago? So when I heard about it yesterday, I was like, what? Tom Cruise in The Mummy? And then I kind of read more about it and I thought about it. And it's like, okay, now I kind of see where they're going. They're basically turning this thing into an action. There's nothing horror or suspense or scary about this whole cinematic universe of monsters. It's going to be an action thing. If you're going to get Tom Cruise in there, what has he been doing lately? Mission Impossible, Jack Reacher, Edge of Tomorrow. So now he's rumored to play an ex-Navy SEAL. That's not confirmed. But if they're going to get someone like him, I think that's where they're going. And maybe he will be in every movie, or maybe they'll get like kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They'll get like a different actor in each one, and then eventually they'll combine together to form some sort of
super squad,
some sort of Avengers like squad that takes on all of the monsters. I don't know.
You're not far off. I mean, it's obviously all going to still be supernatural, but it'll be action supernatural.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but there was this huge hubbub about this, is with Donna Langley, the president of or chairwoman of Universal, saying we're taking the horror out of the monsters, and then very quickly, Kurtzman and these writers and all these people with it. No, that she, don't listen to her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. It's like, okay, well, she's in charge, so I think she knows what she's talking about. But with that being said, there was a rumor that Cruise was being approached to play like a Van Helsing character who could be the Nick Fury, so to speak, of this universe. Which again, maybe he's an ex Navy SEAL who finds out he's part of the Van Helsing bloodline or something. Right. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of different ways they can go with it. And also, I would argue too that The Mummy doesn't need to be scary. Audiences, I think, still remember the 1999 Mummy movie. But when you get into Dracula, when you get into The Wolfman, when you get into these other films, those I think need to be scary. And I think that's when I'll be curious to see the direction they go.
I think they all need to be scary, but I mean, it's monster movies.
Right.
So, but you can do it in a way where it's action, it's suspense, it's fun. What they want to do is, they're just not saying it. They want to create a ride out of all these. I hate that terminology. It's a movie, it's a story, it's not a ride. I go to Disneyland when I want to get on a ride. But what they're doing is they're trying to turn it into a large $100 million event film and bring
and sell toys.
But it makes total sense. I mean, because all of these things are public domain. I could make a Frankenstein movie right now, tomorrow. I could rock it out. I could be the monster or the doctor.
You're
whatever. But so any one of us can rock out Dracula, whatever we want. It's all public domain. This is just Universal's brand that they want to rebrand, because they've already got the 50s old school, the brand that they've got, and they'll always have that. Now they want to rebrand these monsters into something that's relevant. So I'm going to check all of these new ones out.
I want to add one more thing to what you just said, Schnepp, because you are right. These stories are public domain, and that's why you can have Victor Frankenstein or you can have these characters showing up elsewhere and other things. What isn't public domain are the makeup designs, are those classic makeup designs that you associate with these monsters. My question is, if you are trying to update these stories, does Universal actually use the thing that makes their movies special, which are these creature designs, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein's monsters, makeup, the flat top, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder how much they're going to incorporate.
It's got to get re-updated. Like, you know what? I love those classic monsters. I loved them when I was a kid. It needs a new, not a new coat of paint, a brand new rethink, a retelling, bring them into the year 2000, into the new millennium. Bring them in, we're in 2016 now. So it's like, I'm totally cool with that. Nothing will ever take away Bride of Frankenstein. I can always watch that whenever I want. I don't need anyone to make a remake of it or a shot-for-shot thing. I want something brand new. So that's how I feel about it.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.